Is a confident Jered Goff better than a not confident Jered Goff? The answer is absolutely yes. I want to talk about another thing I was reading, observations from Detroit Lions OTAs. Obviously, I wasn't able to be there, but I can read from the people that I trust. And if you haven't yet, Nick Baumgartner, Chris Burke do a really good job at The Athletic. They are honest with their assessments. They're not big time homers. They even talked about recently how they're not Detroit Lions fans per se because of what they do. So they're pretty honest. And one of their big takeaways from the OTAs was that Jered Goff is a guy who is now looking very confident. And I think of this in stark contrast to what happened last year. Remember, we get Jered Goff, we're all excited, and we're like, hey, well, okay, pump the brakes, Greg, right? Like, I need to calm down a little bit. I don't know if we were all excited. I think we were thinking to ourselves, could he be the Jered Goff that went to 2 Pro Bowls? So that's what I mean by very excited. Don't destroy me in the comments. But what I'm saying is we got Jered Goff and we're like, what if? What if he's a top 10, top 15 quarterback? Like, what if? And then we start reading all the reports. It started as early as in the summer, and people are just like, it doesn't look good. Like, there's ducks flying everywhere. They're used to watching Matt Stafford and the just elite arm talent that he has. And now they're watching Jered Goff. And at times it's almost embarrassing. And every throw is under 5 yards, 10 yards. And it's just the reports coming out were not good. Now, this year, it has completely changed. And they're saying, hey, he looks confident. Here's what it says. They say he now looks like the guy who knows all the shortcuts to work. The 2022 version of Goff already looks infinitely more loose and at ease with everyone and everything around him. And that begs the big question. Is a confident Jered Goff going to be much better than what we saw for the first half of the season last year? And I think we can go back to last year to get our answer to that. A confident Jered Goff appeared when Dan Campbell started making the play calls. Did the offense improve? It's a rhetorical question. The answer is absolutely yes. Did Jered Goff improve? The answer is absolutely yes. Now, he still wasn't this perfect quarterback. I've mentioned this game multiple times. I think a great example of what Jered Goff is, even when confident, is a guy that can do good things. Minnesota Vikings, game-winning drive, touchdown. Offense was moving in the first half. Really good. He's hitting spots, making the right plays, good reads, but still ends the game with a fumble and an interception. And this is what the struggles are with Jered Goff at times is he'll give you the highs, then he'll give you the lows. He was a number 1 pick for a reason. He does have talent. He does have the ability to play in this league. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl participant. But here's the thing that we have to understand about Jered Goff. His mind is extremely important to the play on the field. I think we can say that about any quarterback. I really do. But Jered Goff seems, I don't want to use the word fragile because it's not that. It's not that. You're not an NFL quarterback with that. But it seems to be more important because the skill set, the talent level there for him, the physical attributes aren't as far above and away. So he has to be really sharp up here. I think when I look at guys that are really sharp up here are guys like Tom Brady. When he came into the league, it wasn't elite arm talent. It wasn't any of this stuff, but he became mentally superior to everyone. He understood. He understands the playbook. He understands where his receivers are going to be. He is a mathematician out there. I mean, it is perfect. An engineer, whatever you want to call it, an architect. Jered Goff has to rely on a lot of those X's and O's intangibles where his arm strength isn't going to be what Matt Stafford was. And Detroit Lions fans, I want you to hear me right now. He will never be what Matt Stafford was. He won't be. And that's okay. And I think it was proof when Matt Stafford goes to LA and wins a Super Bowl year 1. I will say he had a better roster around him than Goff did, but he goes and wins a Super Bowl year 1. But a confident Jered Goff with the weapons that he has around him. And I've heard different people say different things about the weapons that he has. But here's what we know for a fact. The weapons are better than they were last year. You can't argue that point. You can't. Bringing in DJ Chark. We understand Williams won't be available for probably the first half of the year. But those 2 guys are already better. We had Josh Reynolds running at wide receiver 1 last year. And truth is, if everybody's healthy, he better be wide receiver 4. So you can't say the weapons aren't better. Hawkinson's going to be healthy. The O-line is going to be healthy. Everything around Goff is better. We just put out a video about how DeAndre Swift is looking jacked. He's looking yoked. Like, things are better around him. You can argue that point with me if you want. You're going to lose, but I mean, like, sorry, that sounded cocky, but it's just some things are facts, and we don't know what injuries are going to do. But if you can take the confidence Jered Goff you had for the last 6 games last year and put him in this roster, we already saw what the offense could do even with less talent. What can they do with more talent? What could this offense look like with Ben Johnson? Like, I'm really excited to see these things. So I think it's okay to kind of start to get excited. We're not expecting the Lions to win a Super Bowl this year. That's not the goal. I'm not even expecting them to make the playoffs. But if your goal is for the Lions to play competitive football week in and week out, and you think Jered Goff is the linchpin for that because the rest of the roster is starting to come together, especially on offense, I think that he is going to be good enough to play competitive football week in and week out. And for this year, that's okay. All right. Hey, if you like this video, hit subscribe. Even if you didn't, but you think my other videos might be better. Me and Chris put some good stuff out there. Maybe you like the other guy more. Still hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you part of the community here, and we will see you on the next one. Go.